welcome back to my channel, the series of doing research. I'm glad to say that this coming topic will be very important for you as students doing research at the end of your study and also as researchers. Usually, there are two types of research design, that is qualitative research or quantitative research. Are you familiar with qualitative research, or maybe you are going to choose quantitative design for your research? Here we go.
Yes, this is about the research design in which I would like to show you the comparison, the differences between qualitative or quantitative research design. Yes, we start from the scope. The qualitative research design is something which is dynamic. That is an ongoing process in which possible change can happen in the process. And of course, it can develop during the process of research. So that is dynamic, in which the ideas of your research can possibly change during the process. So do you need the structure or the pattern for your qualitative research design? I'll say that you still need the pattern as the structure, as the guideline for you to do your research. But it doesn't mean that you are going to stick yourself, to stick your ideas based on the structure. In the qualitative research design, you can develop your ideas during the process of the research. That is qualitative research. It's different from qualitative research. Quantitative research design is something which is static and structured from the beginning. And the structure of the research has been designed and planned from the beginning. If you're doing quantitative research, it means that you are going to work out with the structure that had been designed from the beginning. So, no possible change that can happen in the process. That's the differences between qualitative and quantitative research design in terms of the scope. And the objectives. In the objectives, the research of the qualitative design is designed to explore deeply on certain phenomena which may open the chance to develop theories. So the theories are there, but it doesn't mean that you stick yourself on the theories. The theories are there as the underlying concept for you to understand in order to start your research. But for the quantitative research design, the objective is to prove the theories, to justify the theories, and you can compare the variables about the certain phenomena. So the theories are there in the quantitative research design, and the theories will be proved, will be justified, will be compared and contrasted one to another. That is the objectives of the quantitative research design, which are quite different from the qualitative research. And the source of data will be also different. In the qualitative design, you are going to work with many kinds of words, statements, and opinions because it tends to be explorative and also descriptive. In qualitative design, you are going to explore, describe, and then you are going to use words as the source of your data. Different from qualitative research, in quantitative research, the data will be obtained in the forms of numbers and any other statistical methods such as frequencies, and they're all numeric and statistical. And the way you approach the data is quite different here, because in the qualitative design, you are going to work with the data first, and then you come to formulate the theories that are related. So you work with the data first, and then the theories will come up at the end. The theories are provided only as the theoretical background, and next you are going to collect data to analyze the data in order to produce further related theories. So data will come first, and then the theories will come at the end. That is in the qualitative research design. In quantitative research design, the theories are already there as the foundation of the research, and then you are going to work based on the theories that have been formulated before. And of course, the data will be obtained based on the theories. So, in the quantitative data, the theories will be there first, and then you collect the data based on the theories. And instruments. In the qualitative design, the researcher is the main instrument. And of course, you also need other instruments such as interview, observation, whether it is non-participant or with participant observation. While the quantitative design, usually we need tests, we need regression analysis, and we need questionnaires in which you can put frequencies in it, and then you compare the variables to each other. The data analysis. In the qualitative design, the main focus is mostly on describing and exploring. So you will of course provide description. And in order to provide description about certain phenomena, you may use discourse analysis, conversation analysis, critical discourse analysis, or maybe you are going to use literary approach, genetic or pure structuralism approach. That is some of the ways of analyzing data in qualitative. But in quantitative, yeah, you will calculate all of the data based on the mathematical analysis, and of course, you are going to use certain formulas. Here are some of the types of the research. In the qualitative design, you can have descriptive qualitative. That is the very simple one. And then you can go on with the case study, ethnography, yeah, grounded theory, in which you are going to construct theories based on the data, and phenomenology, in which you are going to observe certain people or certain events, and then you can take conclusion about that. And then quantitative design, usually that's the most common type of research in quantitative design, that is experimental, whether it is pre or quasi-experimental design, in which you are going to prove whether one technique of teaching, for example, is suitable with a certain group. And then you are going to do a regression analysis, in which you are going to compare the dependent variable and also the other two dependent variables. And you're going to have correlation analysis. You are going to see whether one variable is correlated to each other. And then you take conclusion about that. Well, in qualitative design, the name of the participants is usually called informant. We call it informants, and the number of samples is not restricted. But in quantitative design, we usually name it as population. And then, of course, from the population, you will need to take number of samples which are representatives. The way you take the samples, yeah, will be decided based on certain formulas. Okay, whether it is random sampling or maybe using cluster sampling. And the way you take conclusion in quality, and in terms of conclusion, taking the conclusion, there is a difference between qualitative and quantitative research. So there is a difference in terms of the way of taking conclusion based on qualitative and quantitative research designs. In qualitative research designs, the findings are obtained from the interpretation, so what we find there cannot be generalized for the whole setting. So, for example, you are doing research in politeness in certain contexts of community, you cannot say that the politeness strategies applied in the community can be used as well in other settings of community. We need to see the context. And to claim the facts, data need to be saturated and depth analysis. That is in the qualitative research design. For the quantitative, the findings will be analyzed based on certain mathematical formulas. So there are certain mathematical formulas that are used to take the conclusion. And to claim the fact, the instrument should be valid and reliable, and of course, the respondents should be representatives. So you can choose whether it is qualitative or quantitative research design. First of all, you need to look at the topic and the discipline. There is some of the disciplines which are mostly suitable with the qualitative research designs, and there are also some disciplines of study which mostly use quantitative research designs. As for example, in social science, you can also rely on qualitative research design, but it doesn't mean that you cannot apply quantitative. You can apply both of them by mixing together the qualitative research and the quantitative research design. Because you need theories as underlying concepts in qualitative, but in quantitative, the theories will become the framework of your research. And you formulate the problems and objectives. And then in the qualitative research, you need to choose the subject, the site, and the informants, while for the quantitative design, you choose the population and sample. In qualitative research design, you collect data for exploration, more exploration, and for the quantitative research design, you provide statistical devices, and then you use some instruments with statistical formula. And based on those procedures, you will take conclusion based on the interpretation in the qualitative research design, but for the quantitative research design, you take conclusion based on the statistical analysis. So, the choice will be dependent on you, whether you use qualitative research design or maybe you are going to use quantitative research design. Yes, thank you for watching.
Well, that's all my explanation about the research design. The two research designs, whether it is qualitative or quantitative, the choices are all depending on you, whether you choose qualitative or maybe quantitative. But remember, you just need to look at your interest, your discipline of study. I myself, because I'm majoring in social science, humanities and arts, I usually rely much on the use of ethnography and qualitative research design to conduct my research. Well, that's all. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!